G'day everyone, Viv here. I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back. It's the end of 2015. So I thought I'd sit here, I'm gonna have a beer, I'm gonna toke on this vape here and have a chat about 2015 and the year that was for me, my family, and for my hobby. So cheers. Happy New Year. Right, whilst I'm drinking some beer, we might as well start off with the brewing. What happened with the brewing? Not a lot this year actually. Earlier this year I discovered some rust in my brewery, and that's never a good thing. Most of the components in my brewery are all stainless steel, but there were a couple of key components which I thought were stainless steel that weren't. And they were the elements, the threaded elements in the housing. Might move this down if I'm going to sit back like this and lounge about. And they started to rust. So that then sort of caused a chain reaction of that rust and me not cleaning it properly, damaging the stainless steel pots, which then need to be repacified. And anyway, so there was a big long drama with the brewing. I haven't done any brewing for many months, maybe even half a year. The brewery, I'm happy with it. It works perfectly. I've fine-tuned it all, and I'm really hoping that in 2016, I'm going to, in 2016, get that brewery back up and running and start brewing again, because I miss it. I resigned from the committee at the Merry Mashers. It's very hot here, it's summer. Taking that damn hat off. I resigned from the committee at the Merry Mashers because I just wasn't feeling the same amount of drive, the same amount of passion that I had earlier in the year. So I thought it only right that I should resign from the committee and someone from the club can step up and take my place. So I'm gonna miss that next year. I'll still be a Merry Mashers member. And if you live in Melbourne or the inner north area of Melbourne and you're a home brewer, you can check out merrymashers.org. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in coming along to our meetings on Tuesday nights. So the brewing, not much happened this year. For 2016, what am I going to do? Well, I brought my brewery home. It was, as you may know, at the warehouse, at my studio. And up until sort of a couple of months ago, the studio was just a place for me to mess around and hang around and escape my regular work at my software company in the city. I really wasn't doing any sort of serious business there. We've got a small range of miniatures. We sell one or two of those every couple of months, not a huge amount. I was doing a small number of commissions, hand-built scenery commissions. I really wasn't doing anything there. So when I was there, I had plenty of time to brew. Now, the rust in the brewery sort of was the first problem. The second problem was, which is a good problem, it's not really a problem, was that I sort of invested quite heavily into Knights of Dice and this new laser cutting MDF sort of gig that we've started. So now when I'm at the studio, there's other people that I've employed that are working there, and I don't have the time anymore to sit there and brew beer. It's an all-day process, so I can't do that at the studio anymore. So the rust meant that I couldn't brew, and having the brewery at the studio meant that I didn't have the time to brew. I don't want to go there in the evenings. It takes 5 or 6 hours to brew a beer. I don't want to come home from work at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then have to go back and spend another 7 hours there or 6 hours there. I don't want to go there on the weekends. I want to spend the time with my family. If you guys can hear the kids' programs in the background, I am babysitting Charlotte in front of the TV right now while vaping and drinking beer. First class parent. So I had to bring it home. I didn't have any space at home. Anyway, long story, cleaned up some space in the garage here, sorted out some space for the brewery, so now the brewery is back home. Now I just need to sort out the replacement parts and I can brew on the weekends, like right now it's a Saturday, whenever I want. If I really want to brew in the evenings, I can, because I'm at home. I'm not having to drive anywhere, etc. So the brewing in 2015 sort of started off really well. I got my brewery finished, wiring up all the electrics, collecting all the components and parts, and brewed quite a number of beers, and they were all very nice beers. But it sort of went downhill quite rapidly from there. In 2016, I was going to say I'm hoping, but I'm going to stop hoping, because hope doesn't do anything, action does. I am going to get my brewery back up and running, because you see those taps in the fridge behind me? They need to have homebrew in it, rather than this crap from Mountain Goat that I'm drinking that doesn't even have a fucking head on it. This is the summer ale from Mountain Goat. So that's what's happening with the brewing. This video might be a long one, and if you're still here with me, well, I hope you guys have a good new year. I'm going to ramble on for who knows how long. So anyway, that's my disclaimer part way through the video. Okay. So the brewing, not much happening. 2016 is going to be a better year for the brewing. Cheers. What else happened for me in 2015? Quite a lot, actually. We moved into our new house. You may know that we were living in the studio in the warehouse in Heidelberg. Terrible place for a one-year-old to be roaming around. The warehouse itself is quite hazardous, and B, it's in the middle of an industrial area with a big metal-working smelters, foundry sort of place just down the road. It stinks, sulfur all the time and burning metal, and so it wasn't a nice place to live. We stayed there for a year. For what I originally thought was going to be a 7 to 8 month build, it turned out to be almost 12 months to the dot. So we spent quite a lot of time there. We moved into this house in almost end of March. So that's been a huge relief for Kim and I, being back in a proper house where we have hot water in the kitchen. We're not having to go down the back to get buckets of hot water. We've got inside toilets, 3 of them now, rather than the outside toilets that we had at the warehouse. Having to go outside at 2 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold of winter to use a toilet was something we got used to, but I'm glad we don't have to do it anymore. So being in our new house here has been amazing. Charlotte loves it. We've got plenty of space, extra guest rooms for friends and family who come to stay, multiple living areas. It's a beautiful big house, and we're very fortunate to have it, and it's been one of the big events for 2015. So I'm in my garage right now. I don't see the need to have our cars inside the garage. I've taken my motorbikes up to the studio, so they're not here anymore. The cars stay outside, and the garage, well, this is my playroom now. So I'll set up my brewery. This table here is actually 9 foot by 6 foot, so I need to sort out all the crap that's stored on it at the moment, find places to put those so that I can use that table for big games and whatnot. So it's nice to have a space at home that's mine, full of my hobby stuff, so that I can work on those things at home, rather than having to do that at the warehouse where everything used to be before. So it's good. It's good. It's kind of an understatement when you're living in a warehouse and you move back into a normal house. It's good. It's fantastic. And again, like I said, it's been one of the big defining moments of 2015. What else has happened? We went to the UK for almost a month to go see my family there, to visit my mum, my sister, my brother. They all live there and have for quite a long time now. We spent some time with Kim's family. We went to Nottingham to see one of her cousins. And whilst we were there, I ducked around as we do in Nottingham to go see the Nottingham boys. And caught up with a couple of different people there, and that was a good trip. I was only there for one night, unfortunately, so I didn't get a chance to really do anything, to go out with any of the guys from Warlord or spend some time with the guys from North Star, or I didn't go to Warhammer World this time. Even though I don't have much interest in Games Workshop's games at the moment, it's still something to do. It's still something fun. You want to go there, you want to see all the beautifully painted miniatures. Whatever you think of their company and whatever you think of their games, you can't deny that they don't have beautiful miniatures. Or at least when you see their miniatures in their little museum area, that you can't deny that they're not wonderfully painted. So next time I'll be there in April. I'm going to the Salute show, and again catching up with some business related matters while I'm there. So I'll certainly get to spend a bit more time in Nottingham and duck around and see a few things, and certainly spend some more time and drink some beautiful ale in the last pub before Jerusalem. What's it called? Someone out there knows what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. Is it the last pub before Jerusalem? Or the pub to Jerusalem? Or whatever. It's old. Oh, hundreds and hundreds of years old. This pub has been there since the time of the Crusades. And it's called that because they used to stop there on the way to Jerusalem. It was one of the major stops for Crusaders heading towards the Holy Land during the time of the Crusades. So around, 1200 or something like that. I mean, the Crusades stretched from 1100 through to 1350 or something like that. Can't quite remember. not a massive history person. It's something that I want to learn more about, and we'll talk about things that I'm doing in 2016, either later on in this video or another one. So that was a good trip, almost 4 weeks in the UK. Again, it was a great chance for Charlotte to spend a lot of time with her grandma, which she doesn't get to see too much other than on Skype. I got to spend a lot of time with my family and duck around and see a few people. I got to meet Michael Thorpe, who produces Twilight, World of Twilight, and I've spoken about that game before. It's a game that I'd love to get more involved with, and I've chatted quite a lot with Michael via email. I built them their new web store, which has certainly helped make the product a bit more visible. That was certainly one thing that I found difficult about the game when I was first exploring it, was not being able to log onto the website and look through a proper catalogue of figures. He had images up there on the website. I mean, it was a good website, but it wasn't an online store. You couldn't buy anything. You couldn't browse through miniatures properly. It was not sales focused. It was not a marketing website. It was an information website. So I built him a new website in Zencart. It's free, open source sort of shopping cart, and I gave that to him, went and visited him, met with his wife, and spent some time in their house. It was beautiful. It was great chance to meet him. And I'm hoping again in 2016 I can do something with Twilight. At least bloody well start playing some games. And like I said just a moment ago, we'll talk about 2016 in a minute. What else happened during 2015? What else happened? Other big things. I bought the warehouse. Yeah, we've been renting that warehouse for 3 or 4 years, where our studio is, and it came up for sale. I didn't really want to have to face the prospect of moving. In the event that the warehouse was sold to somebody, my lease is expiring in 2016. I didn't want to have to worry about trying to find somewhere else to put the studio. So it came up for sale, and I thought, look, we're in a position at the moment where we can use our superannuation entitlements, which are held in reserve for us for when we retire. Here in Australia, we have a superannuation. You have it everywhere, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so we have our own self-managed super fund. So that fund has purchased that warehouse. So not me sort of personally per se, but Kim and I jointly together through our super fund have purchased that warehouse, which we lease back to one of our companies, and conduct our little business for Knights of Dice from there. So that's a good solid investment for us. We don't have to worry about being kicked out. We don't have to worry about making modifications to the building and having to restore those modifications back to the original condition, and a whole bunch of other sort of crap that you've got to deal with if you're leasing a commercial building. So that's an exciting thing for us, because now we can do what we want there. It's a big warehouse. There's a lot of space for us there, and I don't use that space very efficiently. I spread crap out all over the place, and I'm looking forward to really getting things pumping along quite a lot there in the coming year. So what else has been going on? I don't know really. Warehouse, UK trip, move into the house. Brewing, not really happening too much. Charlotte turned 2. Not too much else I can think of. I've acquired a massive amount of miniatures during 2015. So many things. People have sent me stuff. The guys from Rubicon Models sent me some kits to have a look at, and I've been reviewing those over the last couple of days. They were sent to me months ago. I've got so much stuff going on that it takes me a long time to get around to looking at those sorts of products. And I'm sorry to those guys. I'm sorry to Jamie if he's watching, that who organised that it took so long to get those reviews up. Now, just on that, because you'll probably start seeing over the coming months me reviewing more and more products, some of which I'm just reviewing because I've got those and I want to talk about them and create some content for my website, create some content to share with you guys. Because at the moment, the scenery building for me, scratch building stuff is not really happening quite a lot of, so I want to get involved. I want to share my hobby with everyone, and my hobby right now is not scenery building. It's assembling models and painting models and messing around sort of in that wider sphere of miniature gaming. So you will see more reviews coming, some of which are my own products which I bought and I'm just sort of assembling, others which have been sent to me. Now, Warlord has sent me quite a lot of stuff. Now, I don't ask for that stuff. and I don't get paid to review it. There are no specific arrangements or agreements that I must review this and I must provide a review, nothing like that. They just sent me some products because they like my YouTube channel. I've done a lot of videos over the years, 300 whatever videos over the last 6 or 7 years, or 5 or 6 or whatever years I've been on YouTube. And there's some people at Warlord that like my channel. So every now and then they send me some stuff, and Richard sent me some stuff. He sent me some Gates of Antara stuff, quite a lot of Gates of Antara stuff actually. Some Hail Caesar, Pike and Shot stuff. I've had a little bit of bolt action stuff. So I don't want anyone out there to start sort of jumping up and down that I'm selling out my channel or that I'm another Warlord flunky or whatever like that. I think that's a whole bunch of bullshit, and you should keep that sort of crap in your pocket, because there's people out there that are trying to make a living from their YouTube channel, and that's fine, or at least earn a little bit of extra cash, and that's fine. I don't begrudge them that. I'm a capitalist, I'm a businessman, and I try to find opportunities wherever I can to earn an extra quid, because if I can earn an extra quid, it means I can send Charlotte to school for an extra year, or a better college, or 2 degrees, or whatever. So I don't begrudge those people. What I do begrudge is people jumping up and down because they're pissed off, annoyed, jealous, envious, or whatever, of people who are putting themselves out there, sometimes to be shot down, to get more involved in what they're doing. So if you start to see more reviews coming from me and you're not interested in that sort of stuff, plenty of other channels out there that you can watch. That's fine. If you think that there's something that I might be interested in, if you've watched my channel for a long time, you know that I'm into smaller indie games, I'm into smaller skirmish games. I do enjoy big mass battle games, but I haven't played those for a long time. I'm quite varied. I have armies for all sorts of stuff, from 6 mil to 15, 18, 20 mil, 28 mil, across all different sorts of periods. Ancients, medievals, historicals, English Civil War, American Civil War, heaps of stuff. There's miniatures all over the place, and I'll talk about what I'm doing with those in 2016, probably in another video, because I need to start doing something with these massive amounts of miniatures that I've got. Thousands and thousands and thousands of bare plastic, bare metal miniatures hanging around. Most of my skirmish stuff is painted because there's what, 20, 30, 40 figures in those armies. That's not a problem. But when you start to look at my Celt army, actually, which is up here on the table, that's hundreds and hundreds of figures. And then that English Civil War army over there, hundreds and hundreds of figures. My bolt action armies over here, mind you, they're not hundreds and hundreds of figures, but they're still big armies. My Crusader armies, my Bretonnian armies, which is over 700 miniatures. Huge, huge armies that I need to do something with. I'd very much like to paint them. I'd very much like to produce more content for my website, and by painting them I get a chance to do that. Anyway, so I'm not going to ramble on too much about 2016 because that's going to come up later on. When 2016 is here, I might actually sit down and... I don't know when this video is going to go up, so it might be 2016 already. If that's the case, well, expect a video about 2016 shortly. But I'll film that when we're in 2016 to talk about what my plans are for the new year. Now, that's it. I don't want to ramble on for too much longer. 2015 was a good year. It was a good year. Both for me personally, for me professionally. We did have some hiccups with our software business, but I want to try and keep that completely separate from everything that I do here online. I never really talk about it except for the fact that I do have another business that we develop software programs. I've had some problems there this year, but I'm sure that we can recover and come back better and stronger next year. We moved into our new house. My brewery broke down and I need to rebuild it, but I brought it home, so hopefully in 2016 I can start to brew some, stop using that word hopefully. In 2016 I'll start brewing more beer. I've got, we moved into our new house, we bought the warehouse, whatever, you know, I've summarised the shit that I've just done in this video. So there we go. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, because that was just the other day. I hope you have a safe and wonderful New Year. Hello, Charlotte. You want to come and say hello? Come here, sweetheart. Oh, look up there. There's a camera up there. Say hello.
Hello.
I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful and safe and festive New Year celebration. And Charlotte and I will be back in 2016 to talk more about miniature gaming. Won't we, darling?
Yeah.
Because you're enjoying the miniatures right now, aren't you? And that's wonderful for Daddy.
Yeah.
You're only 2, but you're playing with my miniatures. You're breaking some of my miniatures.
Yes.
Yes, you have. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all your support this year. Oh, Knights of Dice. I haven't even spoken much about Knights of Dice for 2015. That was huge. That is huge. I don't want to cut this video off without saying sort of it's been amazing. The feedback that we've had has been wonderful. That went from me buying a $3,000 Chinese laser cutter, messing around with that for about a week, talking to one of my old friends, Scott, who some of you will remember from Battle Bunker TV and whatnot, talking to him and saying, hey, listen, I've got a laser cutter, do you want to come and do some stuff? And it went from that, and within the space of a fortnight to maybe 4 weeks, to me investing in some Trotec laser machines. They're incredibly expensive, but they are amazing machines. I'm pretty sure that they're the same machines that are used by Foreground. They are quality machines. We've had fantastic support from Trotec Australia. Absolutely brilliant machines, and they just hammer everything out. I've had a lot of people ask us, and certainly when we first started, people saying, oh, the kits look amazing, but I can't believe it. How much is it going to cost? There's a lot of cheap, shitty MDF, sorry, Charlotte. There's a lot of cheap, crappy MDF stuff out there that is way overpriced for what it is. And that really is souring the market for proper, good quality kits. But we're able to keep our costs contained. A, because I can extrapolate those costs across quite a lot of ventures that I have with my business there. And we use good quality machines. We buy our material in bulk. We process everything on site. I'm quite happy with how Knights of Dice is going. It's amazing. It's just the beginning. So much stuff planned for 2016. Scott is super enthusiastic and excited. He does a fantastic job for us. He's an amazing designer and a dedicated and passionate employee and friend. I've known Scott for quite a number of years. So that has been amazing. 2016, I'm sure, for Knights of Dice is going to be a huge, big year. I'm really looking forward to it. So let's wrap that up for 2015, Charlotte. Yeah, it's almost over. What's coming up soon? 2016. Happy New Year. Stay safe. Enjoy your festivities. And I and Charlotte will catch you later. See ya.